Hi, my name is Mike Lee, and I'm the founder of Thrive 3 here in the Dish Lab with you today. I've spent the past 13 years working with middle school through NBA basketball players across the world in an area of what we call holistic player development, where we're working on their individual skills, but we are also working on their mind. When we first started, everything was about players' individual skills. And then we started adding in training to work on their body. But what we realized is that unless you are working on all three areas, working on your individual skills, working on your body, and also training your mind, you're never gonna reach your potential as a player. So in this series, we're gonna share with you some strategies, concepts, and exercises that players like Steph Curry, LeBron James, and Kobe Bryant have used to train their mind to play at an elite level. Back in the 80s in the basketball world, nobody lifted weights. Everybody was so concerned that it would bulk you up too much, it would slow you down, and the biggest thing was that it would mess up your shot. And that this was something for Olympic lifters, this was something for football players, but it was something that basketball players should not step into. And then in the late 80s in the Eastern Conference Finals, the Bulls kept getting beat by the Detroit Pistons, and Michael Jordan kept getting worn down by Joe Dumars. And so he knew that he needed to do something different in order to overcome this obstacle that he had come up against, to get past this wall. And so he hired Tim Grover and he started to lift weights. And some of the other Bulls joined, and this became known as the Breakfast Club that the Bulls participated in the early 90s. And as everybody watching this video knows, that the Bulls went on to win several NBA championships because they started to do something that nobody else in the NBA was doing at that time. And so now, to compete at a high level, no matter what level you're at playing this game, you have to work on your individual skills and you have to be working on your mind. So now with everybody doing those things and the playing field is even, players are looking for a new edge. And so the area that a lot of players are focusing on, besides their nutrition, is training their mind. So in order to get started training your mind, I think that you need to develop a foundation in a practice called mindfulness. And what mindfulness is the skill or ability to create the awareness of your thoughts, your feelings, and your actions in the present moment. Meditation is a practice that is used to cultivate this higher level of awareness, or the exercise that you use to cultivate this higher level of awareness and to continually operate out of it. What we have found is that people who practice meditation, and this is being used across all industries, from artists to athletes to CEOs, is that their brain state is very similar to an athlete being in the zone. So we can literally train our minds to be able to, number one, tap into the zone, and number two, bring our minds back to that state of mind when we have become distracted. So I think one of the best ways to start this is just to dive in. Like, you can read about it all you want, but this is more of something that you will gain an understanding of the value of it through experience and not through knowledge and reading about it. If I were you, I would download an app that is called Headspace, and it will walk you through pretty much every single thing that you need to know to get started with a practice. They actually have a partnership with the NBA, so it's something that is already being used in the basketball world. I will put a link in the notes here, and also a link to a track that I created a couple years ago that you can use to start one of these practices.